Hey, howdy, hey, folks. Pernigo bringing you another Cosmonarchy cast, and we are still in Gauntlet Stage C. Another one of the opening matches is now before us. SgzzZ, hailing from Peru, is our underdog Terran here. I'm thinking he is the Dark Spring Green. Oh, it was Forest Green. Okay, gotcha. Got it. Understood. And he is in the top left of Crisis Vector. Lucifirius is in the bottom right here as the I think he's just black, right? Oh, it's jet black. Jet black, sir. Yeah, the color is slightly brighter. That's how you know it's jet black. But I wasn't paying attention, guys. I admit my folly. I was not actually looking closely at the text. I was just looking at the units, and I was like trying to remember what color does he normally pick? What color is that normally? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for another Cosmonarchy cast. I am very much excited for seeing another Lucy game. Generally speaking, the games that he plays tend to be pretty funny, especially versus fellow class 3s or underdogs, so to speak. But SG, I mean, I haven't actually casted him since a series or a single game on a really old Shambler map versus Sausage, who, well, you guys already know, has made it into his first ever battlements. When he signed up to Gauntlet Stage B, he was able to take it through the lower bracket. Very exciting stuff there for sure. Almost feels like maybe he wasn't tested enough, but hey, SG could be our second Peruvian to make it in through the, I'm guessing it'll be the lower bracket in this tournament because I just feel like there's pretty tough opposition here. So I don't have, much faith in him to take it through the upper bracket. I feel like he's got to go up against players like, he's on the same side of the bracket as Art of Turtle and Doglived. So feels like those two would have his number for sure. But let's see if he can make it past the first test in Lucifirius, who, by the way, is going for Zorka's first and immediately has a Circuith up. This does not look good because SG has gone for double forward stockade, so the travel distance will be a little bit reduced, a little bit ameliorated here as we wait for whatever is coming next. Feels to me like we won't have that much time to actually look at the pick ban as Ahmed attempts to reign supreme. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that Circuith is... Oh my god! Yeah. SG, he's finding the tricksy spots. He can sit right here as well, or here. I love that Lucy's like, damn, what do I do here? I'll make a Gorgor. And indeed he does. I mean, surely if SG's Hurakan sees the Gorg coming, then this feels like it'll be a little bit too easy for him to respond to, right? He's making an anchor, but it's at his choke point here by the natural. You can throw down a Watchdog pretty much any time. A second Gorg now on the way. I don't know. Where did did I miss the Hurakan dying? Where is it? Oh no, he's infiltrated the Kagre. He's gone out and slipped under the net. Okay. Well, I think maybe that means we have a little bit of time here as the first Gorg leaves the building, a second one on the way. Vespine only now being harvested again for our champion of memes, Lucifirius, who's decided to go Zorka's first. Let's see. A Fulcrum on the way. I mean, I think maybe we can talk about the veto. So we have Crisis Vector here as our map number 1. Of course, picked by Lucy after vetoing Check Stealer. Blackwater Bastion vetoed by SG. And Brainstorm will be our map number 2. I love Brainstorm in the map veto. Lovely. Near Impact is our decider after the other 4 spawn maps were vetoed. So, well, sad to see that. This Ahmed lives with 2 HP. It's not 3, but it's something. Let's see what happens here, though, because he is going to need to respond with the Mavericks or something. Otherwise, he's going to end up getting harangued by a Gorg. We should see at least a couple of worker kills come out as a result. But here's the stim. Oh, he actually goes after that. That's a mistake. That Mason was 1 Gorg hit away from death. And that 1 Gorg is only a few Mavericks swipes from death. There it is. Focus Fire is indeed good and only good for 1 Maverick kill afterwards. Not cost efficient at all for Lucy. Not what he needed, but he has been aggressively drolling up behind this. And it looks like SG might be saving up for a Ministry, right? An Expand. It does look like he's going to do that at some point here. Lucy going the same route as he's got 2 more Gorgs on the way, 1 for defense already up and running. Big mineral count here. And only 1 larva production structure, by the way, this whole time. So kind of impressive he's got that many workers with only that one hatch. Could definitely go for some more hatches if he wants, or of course the Larvosk as well. But I guess we're going to go into a macro game. Okay, at least this game will go on a little bit longer. It's impressive, really. I kind of thought that SG would just kind of force the issue here, but if he takes a little bit too long to assemble his push, I mean, the Gorgs will be able to defend versus the Mavericks if they're in enough number. Although losing the first 2 without really getting too much of a thinning of the herd effect does feel a bit rough. Triple Watchdog here. SG very much respecting the Gorg push. Maybe a little bit too much. It has delayed his ministry, it feels like, if that's actually what he's going for. But he's also getting his first phalanx out. He's got a decent number of Mavericks. What does he want to do here? It looks like he's going to go for the ministry. Will he just do a single phalanx push? Is that it? Is it a one tank push? Or double Larvosk? Looks like maybe triple Larvosk here. I feel like a unit's going to get trapped here. I can already see it. I think these are flush. Yeah, so... Well, that's all right. Maybe you... I mean, you can fit another one. Maybe you hatch a roll, put down a K-Gra. I don't know. There's a possibility there. Let's see what ends up happening here with Lucy still getting plenty of Vespine. That's another K-Gra turning into a Larvosk. Oh, and he's got a second hatch over here. That's interesting. That kind of adds a bit of buffer space and a little bit of extra K-Gra spread, obviously, but it does make it a little bit harder for the Terrans to make things happen. Is the Phalanx with the army? Yeah, it's a little bit lagging behind. The pre-stim is bold. A lot of his Mavericks are very low. You got to remember that the Gorgs will mulch them down if that is provided. Every 2 stims is another Gorg hit that they don't need to use, basically. Getting right on top. It's a good attempt at spreading around. No other combat units here. Is Lucy just going to get toppled over? He's evacuating the workers, knowing that those are easy targets, as the Hatcherosks are going to be focused down here. Stim on the Mavericks. The Huracan's burning the armor. Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, 12 pairs of Rillarocors as he loses his natural fully. Oh no, he's made a Lakis. At the base that's actually going down. That's a feels bad man moment. And it dies without even getting canceled. So sad for the money there of Lucy. Going for his Hydrith Den. And he does have his gas cap as well, so I guess he can pretend he's still harvesting from 2 geysers. The Rillarocors are just going to try to slow things down when we get double Circuith. I mean, this still looks a little bit awkward to actually push into, looking at what SG has, but he's got his Expand up, he's got his 3rd Stockade coming, and of course his Star Pad. I mean, he can just try to range it down. He doesn't have any, mobile detection, right? So there is a concern here where the Lakis will potentially stop him from being able to do much of anything. Here comes all the Rillarocors. Oh my god! Predictably, they get nothing done. I love it. You'll love to see it. All right, second Lakis goes ahead and burrows. Feels a bit awkward here for Lucy. That one Goliath. By the way, they have reduced vision range when they're burrowed, so if you get really close to them and they're not fighting, it's not a bug. It's just that they don't have the vision. Got the 3 Zorius out. Got the Rillarocors kind of moving through, wiggling through. One Goliath down to below half HP from all these Lakis shots. And what's the reaction here? Mason's actually down here for repairs, I guess. That's pretty good. What else do we got? We got Anseal coming. Some Cyprians on the way. Oh, he's building a frontline Cestus. I love that idea. A little bit of extra armor. Make this... containing at the ramp of the Zerg is... That's a bold choice, you know what I mean? You'll love to see that. But, this is the kind of stuff that I kind of was daydreaming about when I implemented the Cestus. As a concept, I just thought to myself, damn, isn't that so cool? And he's even going to go ahead and take a low ground position here with that Phalanx. And it looks like the Cestus will end up flying further forward. We've got a single Droleth. Oh, he's going to expand with it. Okay, I guess that makes it... You are contained. You need those hidden bases. Hidden base energy has to come out here for Lucy. And now the Lakizilisks are going to get shellacked. They are going to need to move away. 5 HP only. They regenerate a little bit faster than you think when burrowed, so there is that at least, but no expand coming out just yet. Maverick's kind of patrolling some of these side bases. I feel like maybe he's seen some games where Lucy has done the secret base shenanigans. That Goliath is very much not long for this world. We got Zorius, we got Iziracors. I mean, what are we watching here with the Cestus and everything, but it doesn't look like this is nearly enough to actually hold. So this will be broken through. The reinforcements did not come down in time. Hard thing to do, reinforcing on all the other way on the side of the map. You know what I mean? It's just not going to work out. We got more Phalanxes here as well. It feels like maybe an anchor could have been made in the downtime, and that might have helped out the hold. But yeah, difficult thing to deal with. Iziracors, by the way, they suck against Cestuses because they're, bounce attacks and stuff. They have no armor pen. Cestus would have definitely helped out a lot versus the Iziracor if it was also on an anchor, which by default has the 1 armor. That would have been 3 armor. Iziracor would have been doing 4 damage, and the bounce is even less, so definitely possible. But at the end of the day, it looks like Lucy will take his natural after taking his extremity base And judging by the way that this Maverick is positioned, I wonder if that will be the third base for SG. I can't believe we're going to need that after a Zorka's opener, but here we are. Fourth stockade. I hate this SimCity, and he can't even get his phalanx out until he gets the stockade, you know, finished and lifted, or if he lifts another one, which I would prefer doing. You don't want to wait all that long, but that's all right, I guess. We've got the third base up and running, I suppose we're going to call it that, because the Drolets are at the natural first. He doesn't want to reveal in case there's like other units around here, right? You don't want to just waypoint all of your workers in a funky position. There's again the second little macro hatch there. Ends up being a pretty good buffer against all of the attacks that come in. So there you go, and there's the third ministry for SG, realizing I actually need to expand. I wonder if if his ears are burning a little bit. You know, like your opponent does a really cheeky strat and you're not able to quite counter it. I do wonder about that. Like, does that, you know, give you any pause for thought? Nonetheless, with this hatch finishing up, Lucy will get a nice little spike in eco. These two Mavericks could buddy system it up into that 3 o'clock position. Would be a good reveal there. And it does look like one of the stockades was indeed lifted. The Phalanx is still having a difficult time actually getting out, though. So he's going to need to do a little bit more than that. Wait. Hello? They definitely walked through that. The Gorgs are going to clean them up. And really, it's just a question of whether SG actually saw that. I saw him pan over to this base for a split second. Yeah, okay, he's looking. He's like, oh, okay, you've got that base. He does not see the static defense. He only sees the hatch and the Kagras. So no Kagrants are revealed to him, just the actual ground being colored differently. We got a Madrigal out as well for the salvo of rockets that are, or missiles that are going to be chucked over to the air units. All right, and here we go. The third base lifted. We'll see where it ends up going. Maybe I guessed correctly with the position he wants to take. Nope, looks like he wants to go to this location. That's fine. Over here we have more static defense being erected. Oh, a Khaz'Trith. Okay, this is like one of Lucy's favorite things to make here for static D. And it makes sense, right? It was hot for a real long minute, and then people stopped using it a lot in a lot of the qualification games. I feel like Lucy's the only one to actually ply his trade with it. Maybe the other Zergs just didn't need it. Maybe it also showed up in a Jakulenski game at one point. I think so. But that was all the way back in the Tribunal stage, dude. That feels like another lifetime. And now we've got, quad circuit here. And the Phalanxes are being dropped off and sieging, I think, in a very poor position here. They also kind of revealed the position. Look, Lucy's waypointing over. Is he going to be able to hold here? All of the circuits are gone, but the Khaz'Trith still provides value to other units. All the Gorgs getting shredded. Maybe it's just enough here for SG to push on through. Hard to say, but it does look like this is going to be a pretty lethal attack. Now, the only problem with the circuit finishing up here and now the few units that remain, it does feel like the Phalanxes are going to get slowly cleaned up. At the very least, you got the Ant Seals to protect the leftovers, but I think they're going to need to get the hell out of Dodge, and yeah, not before the Gorgs come in to munch on that low HP Phalanx. Third base again. Not quite up and running just yet for SG, but now he's actually behind in economy. Lucy taking the worker lead, and 13 more workers about to pop. I mean, this is unbelievable. Tier 2 on the way for him. Before we see an Atlas out of SG. Like, wild scenes, honestly. Very cool stuff. So, the Gorgs are flying over to 12 o'clock, and we've got the Hydras pouring out. I guess this is going to be like a multi-pronged counterattack. And for some reason, SG thinks he needs to preemptively attack the Gorgs when they could be flying over here. In any case, you'd think you'd go another direction. But that means that his army is not in place to defend. At the very least, that Watchdog will act as a bit of a buffer. But, you know, okay, the Mavericks and the Madrigals will take care of all the Gorgs. But they are slowed down. Is this Ministry going to go down? Mass Repair comes out. I think it's going to be enough. You can't underestimate how good Mass Repair is. It's not as fast as in StarCraft 1. But units are a bit tankier. You think about the armor and HP values have increased and stuff like that. So it ends up working out a little bit better. And yeah, the Stim and Mavericks are going to clean this up. The Phalanx is dealing with it, just like StarCraft 1 in the rare case that you get tanks versus Hydras. Well, he's passed a test at the very least. He's managed to hold on to his third base. He hasn't lost too many Masons. And now we're taking a look at, well, what do we got here? A Covenant on the way. That's an interesting choice. Still no tier 2, though. Another Fulcrum. That's going to be the third one. He's had to, lift his base off a lot. And, well, hold on a second. Is that Phalanx still spinning in here, or did he actually get it out? I guess he got it out. That's kind of wild. Wait, can they pass through? Were they just getting pranked earlier? I guess they were, but he's still gonna... And it's good to still do that. Like, especially if you put an add-on there, it's over. So it looks like he wants to add another Covenant. Maybe get some Savants out, right? Oh, he's done the trick where you send the rally, and it interrupts the the move order. It gives him a move order, right? Right-click order. Anyway. Big army coming out for SG. He's got a lot of Madrigals, but is that really the main threat at this point? Lucy has mostly a ground army. Not a whole lot of damage with this force, to be completely plain with you guys. But maybe it's enough tank to deal with that. Maybe it's enough meat to not worry too much about that. Now we've got triple hatch. Well, this is a little bit rough here for Lucy, I feel like. He's getting very softened up here. Madrigal's going to go ahead and deploy. Pretty good versus the Brute Spawn. Help him soften him up for the Phalanxes. Deal with them too much. Now, one of the Phalanxes has already gone down. Oh, no, that's definitely not true. I was thinking about the Madrigals. And yeah, you can see all of those Phalanxes are eventually going to get cleaned up. I don't know how cost efficient that was, but I think the big winning here is that Lucy is actually up in eco and, of course, up in production. So it feels like this is an opportunity here for him to press for a significant advantage. And color me very, very shocked as the 4th base comes down for SG. I don't know if he's going to be able to win this game. He still has no tier 2. He's got loads of minerals in the bank, but no way to spend them. It doesn't really look like Lucy can actually attack in and finish the job, especially without any micro on the army. But he almost doesn't need to. 15 Droleth on the way for that 4th base, which is a more conventional sort of cross position here. And looking at this base, I mean, this is very well saturated. He's got the double gas cap there as well. And there's double geyser at this base, so it makes sense that SG wanted to take it so he could maybe afford tier 2. But as of right now, the Hydras are going to come back in, kill a couple of Masons, harass the gas harvesting, clear out one of the Savants, but otherwise just get shellacked. Lucy can kind of afford to do this, but remember, he does have tier 2, and I just want to see what exactly he's going to be putting down here. Looks like a bunch of Gorger cores just got ordered up, but he still hasn't really made any tier 2 tech node. He's got the Tethvith Swamp. That's it. Kind of wild to me he still hasn't made a pool. Even when I do my unorthodox openers where I start Hydrith or something, I typically get a pool afterwards just so I can get a bunch of chaff on the map. And I mean, eventually, if you do hit tier 2, Lyrilisks, Calculisks, these are pretty good units to have. So it does make a lot of sense. Oh my god. Neblime, are you watching this? The Atlas is going up in the 3rd base that has been home to so many attacks already. I mean, it's got Acestus, it's got Watchdogs, but the Phalanxes are packing up so they can move out. And that feels like a big quiff. 9 Gorger cores on the way. I guess... No, there's no Madrigals anymore with the army. They all got cleaned up by the Hydras earlier. Feels like Lucy keeps alternating when he brings out the air units versus when he brings out the more ground-heavy army. And it's working pretty well for him. Anseal's coming in for a scout. They see all the Gorgs. Is that going to give SG some pause? Because he's got the Savants, which are going to be pretty good. You know, they will pen the Gorgs in their default mobile mode. So there is that at the very least. Big worker transfer coming out here for SG as he secures yet another base. I like that he's emptied out his depleted base here, adding another Covenant. 5,000 minerals. Half that for Lucy as well. Oxel Cesian's coming out. Kafralosk's coming out. Looks like he wants to jump straight in, and his exploratory hatch is going to scout out this attack. They're all clumped up. SG needs to move them apart. Oh, his Savants! His Savants are too busy attacking the hatch! And look how much damage they did if they had been focused. Oh my god, that would have been a shellacking. All the Gorgs would have died, and the Phalanxes would have been able to clean up the ground. That would have been it! He might have actually just lost his last chance to maybe get into a more winning position. I don't see how he comes back from losing that army, and okay, I guess the Gorgs aren't going to chase all the Phalanxes, but still, that is catastrophic. All of the Savants were busy on this. No base yet at the, we'll call it 6. So, but a 5th base is definitely on the radar here for Lucy. He's got the money for it. Making the Ultrav Cavern. That's his tier 2 tech of choice for the 2nd round there. Still no Eteth or easy. That's kind of the weird thing, right? Is that it does feel like he could do a little bit more, but he is speccing a lot into these straightforward evolutions. He's making 24 Bactylisks right now. You know, these are the things that he's basically focusing on. Is just give me the advanced mutations. So in that sense, it does actually add up. You make at this point, I wouldn't be surprised to see him make a pool. Sentinel's coming up to defend the Atlas. He's got pretty good defenses around his 4th base and pretty good saturation as well. So I suppose maybe I'm a little bit overly harsh about this Atlas placement, but I still don't think it's a good idea. Double hatch in multiple bases. Yeah, he's actually used double hatch on all 3 bases on the left side of the map. Lucy going from 4 base to 7, with this being the only one left standing at the about, we'll call it 2 o'clock position. Damn. This is a longer game for sure. This is a kind of a banger. I mean, it's a bit sleepy in some parts, but Captaincy's coming out now, finally using tier 2. Lucy making ultra cores. Oh, God. Oh, God. What's he doing to this man? Only 2 gas harvesters here. One of these, oh, no, never mind. I'm wrong. Missed them down there. They were blending in. Who made this game? I was actually thinking, watching earlier, way back, the Really Core explosions. People complain about visibility, right? Like Shopkeeper Dogs brought up, for example, that it's hard to see. Not in a way that, like, fix this right now, but just more in, like, a factual statement, right? And I think I'm going to tweak that visual. It's just a recolored ensnare explosion to be purple, but I think it needs to be less busy. I agree with the visibility complaint, so we'll fix that before Battlements, but still, just kind of funny thought there. It's where my brain went when I asked myself who made the game that I made. Matravel Nest on the way. Are we going to see, like, Matrolith? Are we going to see Infestation? Jakulanski watching with bated breath. Big attack over to 12 o'clock. I think this amount of units is enough to break this. But look at this. The Gorgs and Hydras also coming in with Bactilisk support, with Ultra Core support. And now SG has to pick which base does he defend. He does not have the forces necessary to split them up. Look at all those Masons dead. Lucy back in the lead for workers in a big way, and the Ultra Core's coming in. I think that Ministry is gone. Meanwhile, this base getting entirely massacred. The Cestus will go down, unlocking a little bit more DPS, and the Ministry has gone down. Is that Atlas actually going to die? He needs to lift it. At least he's remaking a Ministry right here. That might help him out if he can actually stave off defeat. Oh, Neblime, don't look. The Atlas is burning down. More Izira cores come in from the middle. Rallied in as the 4th base is destroyed. The 3rd base is destroyed. And the Atlas crumbles before our eyes. He lifts it off at the last second in heartbreaking fashion. And of course, Terran Life brought down almost to the end of its production time. But then, oh, he actually held this. Hold on. He can repair that at least, but I don't think it's going to matter. He's got so many minerals, dude. He just can't make it happen. More Basilisks coming in, while Skryggas are going to take forever to be dealt with there. Add the Cestus to the equation, and good luck. Oh, we've got so many Zarkavra cores being made. Convolisks as well. Look at all these bases. He's actually making a bunch of reinforcement units from those satellite bases. So if he's ever, like, almost there to breaking it, it's going to be much worse than that. Even with the Cestus, even with all these tanky units, we still have these Bactilisks providing a lot of value. That Ministry was finished at some point. He can go ahead and waypoint more units, but look at his worker count, man. He was at close to 100 when that fight started, and now he is at 60. Brought down by 40 workers, and probably then some. You know, there's been a number of worker cycles here so far. Ridiculous. 18 Vorver cores on the way. Why not? I guess that means he's actually gone for the Calcure Lake. Yeah, it does. I figured he wouldn't go for the Vornath Pond here. Gosvaleth's on the way. Back when they had a lot of, like, a decent amount of armor pen, people, like, I think it was Jakulanski, maybe against Alexander one time, just killed him with workers. Impressive stuff. Impressive stuff. Hey, if you guys are enjoying this series so far, it's only game 1. Please think about subscribing to the channel. Think about pledging some monthly support on our coffee page, basically our Patreon alternative. It's very, very helpful. And you get a lot of cool perks because you get to dictate what I work on next. At least your vote matters, your vote counts, you know. We'll see what ends up happening there. Watchdog on the way in the main base. I mean, not really much to write home about here for SG. He has spent down a lot of his money making madcaps. I'm going to take a sip of water because we just got tier 3 started, and goddamn, of course this is a game that goes to tier 3. It started with Zorka's Shroud. It ends in tier 3 for at least one of these players. Oh, man. I need a drink. The Atlas being rebuilt in the 3rd base that was also rebuilt. What? Like, why not? Look at all this build space. It's safe. I mean, not from the Zarkavicors, but it's mostly safe. The Vorvs leave the building. These Zarks have been ignored for some time. I'm not quite sure why. Oh, the Vorvs are actually going to cause a little bit of an atrophy here. Pushing in and slowing down this bottom push, and we've got Convolisks. Very, very difficult to deal with. We got Phalanxes all the way up there, a screen away. Such is the power of artillery. God damn. Well, it does feel like with all these units that ended up staying alive on the bottom flank, this is actually okay. Struck down. But I don't think that this base is in any danger. I mean, this push needs to actually get some damage dealt. And he's still not really mining very well from his third base there, so... I mean, as of right now, so many units just kind of idling around waiting for Lucy to grab him. He's remembered about his Zarkavicors. Vorv's on the way as well. Looks like he's, he's grabbing all the units. And waypointing him in. Munching on the third base, and I can't believe it, but that Atlas is probably going to go down again. Sirens are out. Maybe they can pull away the Atlas to safety. Yoink. I don't think so. I can't believe it, dude. This is why you don't build your Atlas at your third base. But surrounded on all sides, it's a war on so many fronts. And I think Lucy's just made way too many units. He's got 10 more Ultra Cores coming. A Vigoralisk's on the way. The Chokril Chazal is nearby, and it looks like maybe somehow... Oh, never mind. I was going to say maybe SG is actually going to hold, but so many of the Zarks are inside the base, and so in Discord, killed a couple of the production structures. The Quaz slowly tearing that Phalanx down. I think the writing is on the wall, my friends. Even though we've got plenty more units here for Lucy, he's going for the... Oh, yeah, you know he's going to go with Tozrel. He's got the Mutat Spire. He's going to go for Sovrolets to close us out here with all his Oxal Cesians. It makes a lot of sense. Axoth Axis as well. Gescath Grotto. Just get everything at this point. Maybe make some Alcagelisks. Zark's still at large, and goddamn. I mean, he's pushing across the map with what little he has left. But he's just going to end up walking into the Ultra Cores, the Zobrialisks, and he'll see just how screwed he is. This Zarkavicor will not die. The Convolisks in the mineral line. Dude, it's so dangerous. And now the Ultra Cores. I mean, only some of them were actually brought in here, but they're still wreaking so much havoc. And oh, the Red Cores are spreading. Zerg here. I can't believe all the things that happened in this game. Maybe, do I need to buckle down? I might need to go. I might need to go to work before game 2 ends. Let's see. Because if it's anything like that one, it's going to be a ridiculous banger. Yeah, absolute scenes. You know, not the highest level of play, obviously, but still a very fun game. That's the kind of shit you like to see when you open up a Gauntlet stage. That's all I'm going to say. We should all be so lucky. Let's see what happens behind door number 2. We got a brainstorm for map 2. Hell yeah. Poor old SG just got shellacked in the late game, and it looks like he wants to go for a mech opener this time around as he is harvesting gas. Here's our Forest Green Terran in the bottom left of Brainstorm, and Lucy in the top right is our Jet Black Zerg. Who, you know, I was kind of expecting a 6-pool or something, because, you know, you just win this, like, really long, drawn-out game, and, you know, your opponent lost after 30 minutes or whatever in a game that they probably should have won in 5 minutes. And, well, he is going to go for an early pool. That's an 8-pool, but I don't know if that is going to be as effective. I guess we'll have to wait and see, because SG is going for the Fulcrum. We'll see how well practiced he is on it. Again, guys, if you like that match, drop us a sub on the YouTube channel. What the hell, man? Like the video, dude. I like this video. Maybe I will like my own video. Maybe I will be that guy who posts in the comment section and then upvotes his own comment. And you can tell, because it's a comment on, like, a 12-year-old video, and it was posted, you know, 1 hour ago, and it has 1 upvote, and you're like, oh, okay. You're literally liking your... Like, that video ain't getting views, buddy. You are the view, and you are the like. Yeah, I'll be that guy, but for my own video. Like it before it's even uploaded. If this video has 1 like and you're the first one to watch it, you know it was me. Anyway, Pool is about to pop, and SG going for that Fulcrum. It looks like he might be going for a second one, but he is definitely going to need to grab a Vulture here. It's going to be 3 pairs of Quaz. It's kind of interesting. He did scout that there was no Larvosk, right? Like, his Mason went all the way into the base. And there's the second Fulcrum before the first. He's kind of slowing his first military unit. He's going to have to cut workers in order to get the Vulture. So I'm not a fan of this build order, but there is the Vulture indeed. And now we've got a hatch coming. So a gasless build here for Lucy. I dig it. That's my style. This Mason not quite making it all the way through. Of course, you got to go through the brain drain to get to your enemy's base if you go to the most straightforward path. But for 6 quads, that's not going to be that big of a deal. Making workers behind it, so not a super committed all-in. But definitely needs a little bit more worker and unit production in general, right? Drop another hatch at some point here would be a good one. Looks like he's thinking the same thing I'm thinking, maybe? I don't know, not quite sure. Uh-oh, Vulture. SG, please put down the mine. Do not. No. No, 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 no. He's gonna have to pull the boys. He didn't put any mines down. He started to repair the vault. That's not gonna work. He needs to micro versus all these quads. No, he's lost both vultures. You're gonna have to pull the boys, buddy. He's not pulling the boys. Has he given up? No. Oh my God. He's. I know he's not British. I mean, British. I know he's not Brazilian, but I'm half expecting him to be saying Caralho right now. Goddamn. All right. Well, Lucy's gonna move on, I guess. I don't know what happened here, making the Goliath. I mean, behind this, Lucy is making workers. This is not like a committed military push. This was not supposed to win the game, but it kind of did. So, down to 3 workers with not enough money. He can cancel the anchor to get some more money, I guess. I don't know if, like, has Lucy realized how far ahead this has put him? I don't know. Humble beginnings. He's going to finish the anchor because he's worried about the D:. Yeah, I feel that way. Double hatch because he had so much money microing out of his mind, out of his gourd. And honestly, with this many quads and Zeths, I think you can probably break that anchor and then kill the Goliath. He's definitely not going to be making another military unit, I'll tell you that much. All because he just didn't lay the mines. God damn. Well, I guess this is not going to be the banger, unless this is SG's turn to redeem. You know, if we're going in for another 30-minute game and he wins and he forces a decider, then I really am going to have to go to work. But going after the anchor, got to get the repairs going. Not quite enough. Well, I guess he can repair the Goliath. He has the money. He's not repairing the Goliath, though. He is not repairing the Goliath. He has... Oh, my God. GG. SG is out of here. Into the lower bracket with you. And just like that, Lucifirius is going to go ahead and take it to 0. Guys, that was not how I thought that second game would go, but hey, both games defying expectation, back to back. What else would you ask for in a tournament match? You literally can't predict it. So this means Lucy moves on to face Art of Turtle in the 4th upper match. So we'll see how that one goes out later. I don't know that I'll be casting that one. But yeah, I mean, we've got some opening matches. We have had some opening games here. Thanks for watching some Cosmonarchy content. I'll see you guys later. Peace.